The observation deck of the Celestial Dawn hummed with the usual chatter of alien diplomats and military officers from across the Galactic Coalition. Anna stood by the panoramic viewport, her scarred hands clasped behind her back, watching the nebula's purple and gold tendrils dance in the void. 20 years of service had etched lines into her face that no rejuvenation treatment could erase. Not that she'd ever accepted one. "Commander Anna," a voice called from behind. She turned to see Alexander approaching, his uniform crisp despite the long journey from Earth. The young lieutenant had only joined her unit 6 months ago, fresh from the academy with idealism still burning in his eyes. "At ease, Alexander," she said, offering a slight smile. "We're off duty." He relaxed marginally, though his posture remained military perfect. "I wanted to thank you again for recommending me for this diplomatic mission. It's an honor to know. Look over there." The words came from Zyxthar, a Velkorian officer known for his unshakable composure. But now his crystalline voice carried something Anna had never heard before. Fear at Anna's instincts flared. She spun toward the viewport, following the Velkorian's trembling claw. Alexander moved beside her, his hand instinctively dropping to where his sidearm would be. If weapons were permitted in the diplomatic zone at first, Anna saw nothing unusual. Just stars. Just the infinite black. Then her veteran's eye caught it. A distortion, like heat waves rising from summer asphalt, but in the vacuum of space. "What am I looking at?" Alexander whispered. Anna stared and froze in shock. The distortion expanded, reality itself seeming to tear apart like wet paper. Through the rift, something emerged. Not a ship. Not anything she'd seen in 2 decades of fighting the Kresh, the Vorthani, or any of the Coalition's enemies. It was a structure. Impossibly massive, geometric yet organic, pulsing with light that hurt to perceive. Ancient. Wrong. It made her hindbrain scream in primal terror, the kind of fear that evolution had carved into humanity's genes when they were still prey animals. That's a harbinger construct," Zyxthar breathed, backing away from the viewport. Around the observation deck, dozens of aliens were doing the same. Some were already fleeing. The council said they were extinct. 10 million years extinct. "What's a harbinger?" Alexander asked, his voice steady despite his pale face. Anna's mouth was dry. She'd heard the stories. Every species had them. The harbingers were the galaxy's boogeyman, the ancient enemy that had nearly sterilized the Milky Way before mysteriously vanishing. Every major civilization had legends of them. The Velkorians called them the Silence Bringers. The Kresh knew them as the First Dark. Humanity had no direct knowledge of them, having reached the stars too late, but here one was. Real. Alive. Awake. "It's the reason the Coalition exists," Anna said quietly. "Every species, every government, every petty territorial dispute. It all stops when one of those appears. Because they don't negotiate. They don't conquer. They erase." The construct pulsed, and Anna felt it in her chest, like a bass note below hearing. Throughout the ship, alarms began to wail. Emergency lights bathed the observation deck in red. "All personnel to battle stations. This is not a drill. Repeat, this is not a drill." Alexander looked at her, and she saw the question in his eyes. "What do we do?" Anna's mind raced. The Celestial Dawn was a diplomatic vessel, lightly armed, carrying representatives from 40 different species. The nearest military fleet was 3 hours away at maximum FTL. By then, they'd either be safe or atoms. "Commander," a Threxian engineer skittered up to them, her 6 legs clicking frantically on the deck. "The construct is charging some kind of weapon. We're detecting massive energy buildup. We have maybe 4 minutes before." The ship lurched. Not from impact, from their own engines firing at emergency burn. "We're running," Alexander said, not a question. "Everyone runs from harbingers," Zyxthar said bitterly. "That's what you do when you meet a god that wants you dead." Anna watched the construct grow larger in the viewport as the ship tried desperately to accelerate away. It wasn't working. Whatever that thing was doing, it was affecting space-time itself, creating a gravity well that was reeling them in like a fish on a line. "No," Anna said suddenly. "Not everyone runs." She pulled Alexander aside, lowering her voice. "Get to the escape pods. Start evacuating non-essential personnel. Prioritize the delegates. If this is the harbingers coming back, the Coalition needs to know." What about you? I'm going to engineering. Anna, you can't possibly. Listen to me. She gripped his shoulder. Humans are the newest species in the coalition. We don't have the scars from the Harbinger War. We don't carry their trauma. That thing, she pointed at the construct. It terrifies every species that remembers. But we don't remember. And that might be our only advantage. Alexander's jaw set. She recognized that look. She'd worn it herself once, before the wars had tempered it. Then I'm coming with you. Lieutenant, with respect, Commander, you taught me that humans don't run. Not when others need protecting. He straightened. Besides, you'll need someone to carry your stubborn ass out of engineering when whatever insane plan you're cooking up inevitably backfires. Despite everything, Anna smiled. Maybe the Academy was teaching them something right after all. Then let's move. We've got 3 minutes to remind the galaxy why humanity earned its seat at the coalition table. She started running toward the central corridor, Alexander beside her. And Lieutenant. Yes, Commander. Welcome to the war nobody thought they'd have to fight again. Behind them, through the viewport, the Harbinger construct pulsed again, and somewhere in the darkness, ancient machinery stirred to life, remembering what it had been built to do. The galaxy was about to remember why humanity had always been better at fighting than running, Hyobi continued.